All right, everybody, welcome back to the Titans Table for Two in the two-tone blue. That's Andrew.
That's Christian.
And unfortunately, guys, we have another disappointing week this week, another losing edition for our Tennessee Titans. We didn't get the win this week, didn't get our first W, and it was, honestly, man, it was about as embarrassing of a fashion as it could have been.
Yeah, for sure. It didn't feel like the first 2 weeks where we felt like we beat ourselves, but we really just got outplayed, outcoached the whole
Yeah,
four
all the way
quarters.
around. Yeah,
Yeah,
all the way around.
defense,
It's tough
defense didn't even look
seeing.
good.
Yeah, it's tough seeing a couple of familiar faces. I mean, that's the elephant in the room. Just get it out of the way. Malik Willis coming in here, and by God, man, that first couple drives, he looked like Lamar Jackson out there.
Yeah, it just really he was just efficient. He didn't the opposite of what Will Levis has had done. He's made mistakes. Made the right throws. He's not like he has some really good runs and he made some really good throws, but
Mm-hmm.
just simple 19 passes, 13 completions, really efficient, taking the open guy. And credit to Matt LaFleur. I mean, I think he's really coming along as one of the best offensive coaches in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's really good. I mean, he was good already, but he's gotten better every year or two.
Yeah, he really hurt us with his feet with another touchdown and had 73 yards on 6 carries. So, gosh, it's a little frustrating, man. I know all of us Titans fans are sitting there thinking man, these throws weren't connecting here. He wasn't making those throws. I don't know what happened, but he wasn't hitting those throws here. It's not like the Titans were stupid for trading him. If anything, people were patting the Titans on the back for getting anything in return at all for a Malik
Yeah,
Willis. So it's about as big of a handful of salt in the wound as you can get, man. I mean, and they treated the game with class and everything, and won with class. They deserve the win. It's just tough with everything. We've been sounding like we're beating a dead horse, sounding like a broken record for the last couple of weeks. We're so excited for everything this year, and just to be 0-3 is it's about as heartbreaking as it can get for Titans. I mean, that O line is terrible.
yeah. I think that's a big thing is, we were like, oh, it can't get any worse, and it's been the last couple of years. And I mean, I credit because J.C. Latham has been great the last 2 weeks. Skoronsky's been up and down. You're hoping to see a little bit more from him, but he hasn't been awful. But the right side, especially the right tackle, has just been
Same
horrible.
old story for
Cush
NPF,
probably
man.
Cushenberry probably had his worst game that he's had as a pro on
And
Sunday.
Skoronsky, in my opinion, Skoronsky could be doing a little bit better as well. I mean, he's
He could
not.
be better. He's not the weakest link on the line,
No,
but
just
he could
overall
definitely.
as a unit, it's just terrible. It's just awful. It's
Yeah,
god awful. I can't imagine you would rather have somebody like a Dennis Daly or an Andre Dillard back, but God, my goodness. I mean, NPF had a couple of reps where he got beat so bad, man, that he didn't even look like an NFL football player.
yeah, it looked like he was blocking a ghost.
It's it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, 8 sacks
I'll
is
just,
crazy.
I'll just say what it is. It is embarrassing, and this is it's not protecting Will Levis, but man, he got sacked what 8 times, 9 times? Was it 8?
Yeah, it was 8. I mean, a couple of
I
those are
mean,
probably on him, but
sure.
still, just take 2 of them out. Say they're on Will. I think they credited Will with 2 of them. That's
Well,
still
and that first,
6.
yeah, and that first pick was pretty bad too. It's not as bad as some of the silly ones we've seen in the last couple of weeks, but I mean
Yeah, and
that was pretty rough.
honestly, Callahan said it, and I Kurt Warner, I saw him break it down where he was like, Levis really did everything right on this play. He calls HUD, he looks off Hopkins, he's looking down the middle of the field, and it's a time
Mm,
where he fires it fast. Alexander is just an all-pro cornerback and didn't bite on Hopkins taking him deep at all,
yeah,
and just sat on that inside leverage and picked it off. So I mean, once again, like, did it suck? Yes, pick six. Yes, horrible. Another one, but that doesn't bother me as much as like the little flip passes and stuff like that. And
yeah, yeah.
you got to be able to see that inside leg because Iyer was sitting on the inside of Hopkins' shoulder before they called Hut. And maybe that's something you notice and stuff like that. But I mean, I think he executed the play the way he was supposed to there.
Yeah, and he finally did find Hopkins for the end zone. Got my uh, made me look smart in one fashion. Finally, I was able to
Yeah.
predict something right this season. He finally found Hopkins for the end zone this week, but just an embarrassing way to kind of go about it on both sides, really, but especially on the offense. Just and Will Levis threw well. I mean, he completed 26 of his 34 passes, and
Yeah.
he had
I mean,
260 yards and
if
two
you look at
touchdowns. So
numbers, he's leading the AFC South in completion percentage, and he's tied with CJ Stroud in passing touchdowns, but he also leads the NFL in turnovers. So you can't take that out of it.
well, and I
Has there been
imagine
some good? Yeah, absolutely. There's been some good, but we got to stop
and
giving the ball away.
and I'll check here just so I bet you we're close. But we've got to be top of the pile in sacks allowed.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
I mean, I'm sure we gave up more last week than some teams have given up all year. So I'm not sure what the current team leaders are, but I mean, I think we are only second, crazy, in pressure rate because the Browns' offensive line has been absolutely horrendous too. I think a big thing is they got ahead on that pick six, went up 17-7, and it felt like we just kind of got one
mhm.
dimensional. Like between Pollard and Spears, we had 8 carries all
Yeah,
game.
8 carries. That's
Can't get
nothing.
away from the run that early. I'm not like I get at like fourth quarter, you're trying to get back into it, you got to pass, but 8 carries is crazy. I mean, and they didn't have good averages on those 8 carries, but part of being a running back is getting in a groove and getting going. You're not going to.
Mhm.
There's an you might break a couple for 10 and a couple for 2. So I mean, even if you put in Will Levis's QB sneaks or runs because the pocket was collapsing, you're looking at 11 running plays. That's crazy,
Yeah, that is wild. Yeah, I didn't expect that at all. And then
especially after they gave all
also,
the yards to JT
well,
the week
I
before.
also didn't expect Malik Willis to kind of run all over us like he did. The Packers ended up with a pretty good day running the ball, 188 rushing yards for the day.
And 73 of that coming from Willis. I think there was a lack of adjustments early on that. I think they didn't, put a spy on him early enough because he was, as soon as the pocket collapsed, he was taken off and there was nobody there. I think they finally kind of put a spy on him later in the game.
Yeah,
So they got to
and
make
that's that.
adjustments earlier than that.
I mean, that drove me crazy too. I mean, just like, wow, you're shocked that Malik Willis can run. I mean, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. It's
Yep.
just it's just frustrating as a Titans fan. And I guess we'll get into a little bit of the defense. They kind of showed a few cracks this week as well. A few guys had some good games. Kenneth Murray with a couple of sacks, and a lot of people had questions about Kenneth Murray and that move this year, but he's had a couple of good weeks. And Jeffrey Simmons
Yeah,
with a sack, but go ahead.
I think this defense fits Murray better than he did out in LA. He's able to move around and be the athletic guy a little bit more. But yeah, I
Hmm.
mean, I think him and Ernest did fine. Um, the big holding call on Jets twice in 2 weeks that you kind of had a fault of Jeff cost his team points.
Well,
He
that's what
had
I was
which
just.
I've never seen holding on the defense on a field
Yeah,
goal attempt
that's
in
what I
my
was going to
life.
say. Though it just seems like Jeffrey Simmons, had another pretty good game, and it just seems like he always finds himself in position to have some sort of penalty at some crucial moment in the game.
Yeah, the roughing the
It's
passer against
just
the Jets. Like I said, I've never seen that called. I mean, when I see the replay, I'm like, okay, I guess I see that's the penalty.
well,
But
and another
to
thing,
me, it's something that probably happens on every field goal attempt, and I can't believe it got called.
yeah, and well,
I
and
mean,
some
that
of
was a
the
game changer. It went from scoring no points because he missed the field goal. So the next play,
yeah,
they score a touchdown. So
yeah, and well, a lot of the jawing late in the game when the game's already pretty much over and fussing and fighting with the other team. He's too good for that, man. You know, it's frustrating to watch. I mean, but you know, the defense kind of the one thing that we've kind of been able to brag about a little bit showed a few cracks this week. So we got some work to do there as well. The Packers were able to come in and score 30 on us with Malik Willis at the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's more than we've given up to any other team. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of people just be super down just because it was Willis that did it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it was embarrassing, so I can't really fault them for that. So, I mean, it took the Titans from number 1 in defense to number 5 in total defense. And, you know,
What's that?
we're number 5 in total yards given up average a game now. We were number 1 and dropped all the way down to 5 off of that one. Third in passing defense, and I can't imagine. Our rushing defense was 10. I'm sure it's like, middle of the pack somewhere now. So, and it's all up to that one game. Now, I mean, you can't expect them to do everything every game. You know,
Right.
I guess in your head, you probably thought the game they might have trouble with was like the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen, not the Packers and Malik Willis.
Well, yeah, certainly not. You know the way things unfolded this season. I think Titans fans were kind of salivating at the mouth when we saw these next two games and the unfortunate injuries that the teams had gone through. You know, so but credit to Malik because he's come in and he's done a good job for the Packers the last 2 weeks and been able to keep that team together and on track until Jordan
Yeah.
Love returns.
No, for sure. And I was a Malik fan when he was here. You know, I was all for Levis getting the start after seeing him play, but I always wanted Malik to be successful. He just seems like a really awesome guy, too, humble. So, wish him
Yeah.
nothing but the best.
Good on him, man, because he came in here and he showed us what's what and made us look silly. So, uh,
Mhm.
but hopefully we can get things together, man. There's some good things to talk about. We just can't put it all together to create a win. You know.
It's really, I mean, like I said, this was the different game. I didn't feel like, we were 2 plays away from winning like it was with the Jets and the Bears. But it's still on the same page, I would say, because it's still just
It's close. 'Cause, I
mistakes.
mean, the mistakes. Look at the turnovers. Once again, we lead the game in
We have
turnovers.
not created a turnover all year. We had 1 turnover this year, and it's where the Bears fumbled a kickoff.
Yeah,
Like, and that was such a fluke. We didn't cause that. The guy just tried to basket catch it and hit his knees and went forward.
yeah,
So we haven't caused any turnovers all year.
yeah. And I mean, we were 2 interceptions and a fumble, and not being able to create any yourself. It's hard to get points and win any games like that. It's the same story once again. I said last week if Malik Willis comes in and beats Tennessee at home, it's time to call 911. I think it's justified in hitting the panic button at this point. I mean, it's hard for any team to come back 0-3 and go to the playoffs and do anything. So
statistically,
I mean,
it's not in your favor for sure.
so we might be talking about the draft a whole lot sooner than we wanted to. And I hate seasons like that. You know, this is unfortunate after spending over $300 million this offseason, but
I'm not ready to turn my back yet, but I can see why some people are. I mean, to me, it's still just everything's still new. It just takes time. I'm not saying we're gonna go win a Super Bowl, but I'm gonna let it keep playing out.
yeah,
How
I
I
mean,
feel
things
about
can
it.
still happen, man. There's still 14 games. So,
Will Levis just needs to learn how to be composed under pressure because he's going to be under pressure with this offensive line. Because we talked
yeah,
about it last week. With a clean pocket, you know, he's great, but
yeah.
you're not always going to have a clean pocket. And you can't,
That,
and even if
that's the NFL. Yeah, you're never going to have a
you
clean
can't,
pocket
even if you
always.
like mistakes when you're under pressure, that's fine. But like back breaking mistakes can't happen. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I should have thrown it away here. So that's one thing, but not I try to flip it and like the fumble. I mean, what is he supposed to do right there?
Yeah, no,
You
absolutely.
know,
That's where the
but
offensive line comes in. I mean, that's where you have to put some of the blame on their backs. I mean, this it's not all on him.
it's a team effort and the
You
wins
know,
and losses.
I
For
mean, you can
sure.
see that he's pretty accurate. When you look at his completion percentage,
Mhm.
he completed 26 passes of what was it 34.
34. Yeah,
That's really good. I mean, that's
like close
really
to
good.
70%. Yeah,
So just the offensive line, unfortunately, is dragging this whole thing down. I think it starts with the guys up front, and those guys will tell
Mhm.
you that. Offense moves with the guys up front.
Yeah,
Starts in the trenches, man, and unfortunately, man, our guys up front, a few of them are just not just having bad seasons, but terrible seasons.
yeah.
Uh,
I mean, like I
so
said, luckily the one bright spot is Latham. Latham's been playing really well, and that's what you want. I mean, for a rookie, especially, not even just a rookie, but in general, but for a rookie, it's really well for a rookie
yeah,
because usually, I mean, he struggled his first game, but other than that, he's been playing as good as he can be at right now. And the problem is, I mean, there's nothing really you can do at right tackle right now. The only thing you do is try to help him, but that just like if you put a tight end or someone over there to help him, then you're just taking away from routes and
yeah.
takes away from your like different combinations you can do and stuff like that. But I mean, I would like to see a little more quick pass game, get the ball out, and don't even give them a chance to pressure. I
Well, you're
mean,
gonna have no
I
choice
think
but to.
Callahan's good filling this all out too. He's a first time play caller. I think he's a really great offensive mind, and I think right now it's just he's not able to do exactly what he wants to do because there's too much pressure. So I think he needs to adjust to that.
He's gonna
And
he's gonna have to adjust because I feel like he's been out coached a little bit the last
yeah,
few weeks.
for
So
sure.
he's gonna have to figure something out. But
Especially this week. I mean, he definitely got and Matt LaFleur is like I said, turned not only offensive mind, but one of the best head coaches in the league. I really feel that way.
yeah,
Um, but I think Callahan's. I mean, LaFleur went some growing pains when he first was over there too with Aaron Rodgers, and I think Callahan will figure it out. I really do. I think he's a very analytical guy. He can see what's not working, why it's not working. Um, so like I said, I think it's going to take time, and whether that means we go, 7 wins this season or 4 wins this season, I think this season is all about figuring it out. Unfortunately, and I think we had a lot of hype, and myself included, is that we were like, oh, this team is going to be like, look at all the money we spend, look at all the, look at the defense now. So I think we were all kind of looking through clouded glasses when I think the whole time it was kind of a figure it out season.
yeah, a little bit more of a rebuilding season than I think a lot of Titans fans wish. But hey, we'll see where the next 14 games take us, man. So
Mm-hmm.
did you uh did you have a final bite, man, to wrap this losing edition up this third week?
Yeah, my final bite is going to just go off of that. Really, it's just going to be let it play out. I just there's so many overreactions, and I'm not saying it doesn't warrant it a little bit because everybody wants their team to be great, and like our Sunday happiness kind of depends on it. But you
Well,
got to
my
realize
week
how
sometimes.
much new is in this system, the staff, the analytics. Like they went from like one analytic guy to like a whole department. Like strength and conditioning. The GM is only 2 years in. This is his second year. First year head coach, first year DC, first year OC. A quarterback that's only played 10 games, you know, 10, 12 games, whatever it is. Just give it time and just know, like, it's not Super Bowl or bust. You can figure out a lot about your team. It's going to be a couple off seasons probably until we get to exactly where we want to go. But they're making the right moves. I really feel that way. What you got for a
Yeah, I
final
mean,
bite?
they definitely. Well, just to touch on that a little bit. I mean, you can't. They've definitely made the right moves. A lot of the right moves. I mean, because um, God, just look at the roster we had last year compared to this year. You know, they've given us a chance to compete. It hasn't gone well this year, but I mean, we have a chance to compete, I believe, in every game this year that we have. So,
Look at Latham. Look at Sweat. Both of those guys, top 3 PFF grades on their offense and
yeah, you're not
defense.
seeing
Look
Sweat a
at
lot
Kenneth
in those.
Murphy, Ernest Jones. You know, like there's Calvin Ridley's had a really. I mean, he didn't have much this game, but I mean, I think it's kind of the D Hop show this week. Hopefully, we can see a week where we can get both of them going. But like the moves are being made, and you can't fix. This team had so many holes because
Yeah,
J. Rob missed on like 3 consecutive drafts completely.
sure
First round
did.
picks, everything. You know,
Yep.
Isaiah Wilson, Caleb Farley, Traylon Burks. You know, 3. You know,
Yeah.
you can't miss first rounds, and you definitely can't miss that many in a row.
Yeah.
So I mean, the team is getting better. I know, like we're 0-3, and it might not feel that way. But it's going to take more than one offseason to fix all the holes this team had.
Yeah. Well, my final bite's going to be for me because I came hard at the media for disrespecting the Tennessee Titans and not giving them much of a. And I still feel that way a little bit. I think because they never give a reason why. They just will tell you they don't like the Titans. A lot of them, uh, and never given much reason why. But I mean, I have to eat my words a little bit and have a little piece of humble pie and eat some crow because every single one of those people in the media that I feel like disrespected the Titans probably feels pretty justified in everything that they said, and they have every right
Yeah.
to. So,
Yeah.
um, I was wrong about how I thought this season would start and how good this team was. I don't think this team is as good as maybe I thought they were, and I don't mean that to be disrespectful or bad. It's just I had a little. I guess I expected a little bit better performance in the last 3 weeks. I expected it to start off a little bit better. I'm one
Yeah.
of those fans that was hyped up and stuff. So, yeah, I can't get mad at
Yeah,
the
look at
media
it,
for
man. Though we're a
saying
handful of
negative
plays
things.
from being, you're a handful of plays from being 2-1. So you clean up those mistakes. Who knows what 14 happens in 14 games? You know,
Yeah, they just. I mean, hey, I can admit when I was wrong, and I was wrong. So we'll see what happens in the next 14, 15 weeks. So
take it one at a time. Let's
hopefully
get a
they.
win, hit the bye week, and then we got the Colts. Who, I mean, say what you want. I say what you want about Will Levis, and yes, his turnovers lead the league, but I think overall he's outplaying Anthony Richardson and Trevor
I do
Lawrence.
too. I don't think Anthony Richardson's
And
done
Trevor Lawrence
anything
hasn't
special.
been
So
anything. At least we're 0-3, but our quarterback's on a 4-year, $9 million deal. You're 0-3, and your quarterback's on a 5-year, $275 million deal.
right,
So,
yeah. So hey, we'll see what happens, man. Hopefully they turn it around. We'll be here either
yeah,
way, though.
no
So
doubt.
I'm tied until the day I die.
We'll be back probably even tomorrow with our preview for the Dolphins Titans. I mean, we got a little extra time because it's on Monday. But say
Yep.
we got some big news on the episode about what we're doing for Monday. But until then, check please. I'm not paying.
Give us the thumbs up, man. Subscribe down below. Tighten up that like button.
Subscribe. Tell all your Titans friends.
That's
This is
right.
a Titans table for 2. That's Christian.
That's Andrew. We'll see you tomorrow with the preview of the Titans Dolphins.
Much love.